Hey, everybody. I am interrupting your regularly scheduled programming to tell you a little bit more about the Run Through live in Boston coming up August 26th. The doors are going to open at 12:30. The show starts at 1 p.m. And when you're like, is that in Boston or is that in Norwood? It's in Boston, the great city of Boston. Mayor Michelle Wu would tell you so. So come hang out with us Wednesday, August 26th, 1 p.m. We're going to be live, baby. You can find tickets at Ticketmaster. You can also find them in the link in our bio on Instagram and wherever US Figure Skating is sending you because they're helping us out. So hope to see you at the show. And now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
And then a fall off the end of it, which was absolutely unnecessary and uncalled for. I'm not very much in favor of the counting of points. Does it work for you? No.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your favorite figure skating podcast, The Runthrough, where we talk about all the things that make us kiss, make us cry, make me start to lose my voice. I'm not Olympic champion Sarah Hughes, here with my other three favorite non-Olympic champions, Adam Rippon, Ashley Wagner, Michelle Ellis, back for more of our summer series. No.
Okay.
The Lore Horse
so good.
series. What?
Are you losing your voice? Your voice sounds as commanding as ever.
Oh, okay. It feels like it's coming out more, like it's harder for me to speak than usual.
No.
I went to the World Cup this weekend.
Did you win?
Yes.
So fun.
I won the World Cup.
Who is playing? I am not following this.
I went to, this is going to be dated by the time we release this episode, but I went to a group stage match between Uzbekistan and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. So I am sort of the biggest Tatiana Malinina fan on this podcast as the one attending Uzbekistan soccer games in the World Cup.
I have a feeling you lost your voice before this game because you did also see Hillary Duff this weekend.
That's true.
Oh, it was
Yeah, you lost
Duff.
it during
Are you
Hillary
kidding me?
Duff. Don't blame the Congo.
Yeah, don't be ashamed either.
Well, what's funny is, today's Monday. I saw Hillary Duff on Thursday, and I went to the World Cup on Saturday, and my voice felt fine on Sunday yesterday, and now it feels a little like it's gone, and I didn't really do anything yesterday. So it's a delayed...
Oh, so you're sick.
No,
it's a delayed effect.
We call that in the business the Duff delay. So sorry.
Everybody says... Yeah, everybody's saying the Duff delay.
What do you mean you went to a concert last week? Oh, she's got the Duff delay.
I'm not sure how much of a delayed loss of voice Hillary Duff would have because I'm not totally sure how much live singing is happening.
Her voice is like
confidently would say
I mean that as a compliment. She's doing exactly what she should be doing. It was so much fun. I love her.
Yeah.
And she did the dance.
And she did the dance from the Today Show. She really teased it out over the course of like 3 minutes. She pretended she was going to do it. And then she brought fans on stage to do it with her. Mm-hmm. And then she did a perfect rendition of it.
Yeah. A perfect run through to bring it right back to your favorite figure skating podcast.
I can see this so perfectly. Like the three gays that she brought up on the stage also did it
perfectly. Yes,
of course.
Yeah. Well, she was saying to them, she was like, you guys don't have to move exactly like as I move, but I'm going to go right and then left. I was like, yeah, they do. Mm-hmm. Oh, you wanted to go on stage? You better do it exactly like she does it.
Mm-hmm. It's not a Jim Jam.
Oh, this is people from the audience.
Yes.
Oh, that's incredible. Of course.
Yeah, I was like, they better do it exactly right, or they don't deserve to be there.
No, and they shouldn't have volunteered.
Such a scary coach, Sarah. You better do this exactly
I'm just
right,
holding
or you
people
don't deserve
accountable.
to be out on that ice.
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm just holding people accountable. They volunteered to go up on the stage.
Agreed.
It's giving Kimmy Rappon's sister.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I think her
I agree.
sister's boyfriend is going to coach them now, is what I think I
Yeah.
read.
I read
So-
that.
Okay.
The jumps will remain rotated.
Is she at least
Or
dating a
willing.
figure skater?
I don't know.
No, he's a soccer coach. It's like
Just
Ted
a
Lasso.
random
He's just a
coach
guy.
of another sport.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just a
he's
man.
just Ken.
The street. Just Ken. Okay, so before we get to the lore horse that we are doing today, I
Mhm.
was told before we started recording that Michelle wanted to open the episode with a correction, issuing a correction.
I have a correction. So in the Swan Lake lore, I said that the last time a man won both the U.S. men's and pairs titles was 1941. That is incorrect. It was 1972. And it was Kenneth Shelley who won it's his third of 3 consecutive pair titles with JoJo Starbuck. And he won his one single U.S. men's title in 1972. So the Olympic year, he won both the men's and the pairs titles.
Wait,
and
I
went to
had
the Olympics
no idea.
in both disciplines.
That's
I
amazing.
had no idea
That's
Ken
crazy.
Shelley was so well versed.
Yeah. And he finished 4th in both Olympic events.
competitive.
Okay.
People used to be athletes. Like,
People used to be really
They really
at
used
figure
to.
skating.
Yeah.
And his pairs free skate that season and the season before was Swan Lake.
Okay.
So missed
All right.
opportunity for me to talk about in
Well,
Swan
not
Lake
missed
lore.
anymore because
I know,
you issued your correction, and we
Mhm.
appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The integrity of this podcast was at stake.
Yeah, but we'll never forget that you
sins have
left it
been
out.
And
absolved.
props to the person on YouTube who pointed it out. I was horrified when I saw that. I was like, no. But yeah.
But we're all in this together. That's
Mhm.
why we have comments so that we
Mhm.
can learn.
Yeah.
And you're
And
always
I think
learning.
that we do have some more to learn today.
I
The
think so.
subject
ma'am.
of today's lore horse is Turandot. Do you want to hear the beginning of Turandot to put you in the mood?
Yes.
Yes, please.
That's how it
Is
starts.
it happening?
Yeah. Oh, is the microphone that good of canceling out the
Yes,
noise?
it's
Yeah.
like,
I just
no.
played it for you.
That's
Anyway,
nice.
Also,
I heard a
it's
little
for the
bit of a
best because we're gonna get flagged for copyright
I'll
issues.
edit
We
that
already
in.
have.
I'm gonna edit that in. Anyway, so yeah, today we're talking about Turandot, which is the opera by Giacomo Puccini. So I'm gonna start with a little history about Puccini himself, and then we'll
Mhm.
talk about the opera. Okay. So the first thing you need to know about Giacomo Puccini is that he is a Nepo baby. Okay. His great great grandfather was a composer and he was the maestro for the local cathedral. And his great great grandfather was also named Giacomo. Okay.
Mm.
This position of maestro gets passed down to each subsequent son in the family for
What?
generations until Giacomo's father died when Giacomo was 6 years old. And so Giacomo was too young to become the maestro at the cathedral.
Wow.
So somebody else took it over. But so he ends up continuing to grow up, not becoming the maestro of that cathedral. And he goes off to music school and he has like some financial help getting to music school from his uncles and he got a grant from the Queen. So this is in general, Puccini is a
What
success
queen?
story for nepotism and socialism, basically, is what I'm saying. Queen Marguerite.
I loved her.
Was I okay? I feel really dumb right now. Did Italy have active kings and queens for a
Look,
long time?
I don't know if it didn't specify that she was Italian necessarily. She could be queen of anywhere.
Okay, but a
Yeah.
queen was involved.
That's
Yeah.
What year? By the
Allegedly.
way, what year are we in?
so he was born in 1858. So
That
when
feels
he,
too close.
We're back, baby.
We're back.
She was the
baby.
Queen of Savoy.
Queen of Savoy. There it is.
Wow.
Thank you. So so he goes to music school and he's in this like musical dynasty family.
Mhm.
So out of music school, he starts writing some operas that are well received by critics, but they're not big commercial successes yet. But he gets a reputation in critical circles that he's like an up and coming phenomenal composer.
Mhm.
Okay. When he's 35 years old, so there's still hope for me. Not there yet. When he's 35 years old.
Not for me or Michelle.
Or
It's over.
Ashley's just
No, Sarah's literally just
shrugging her
making this joke that annoys me so much to piss me off. And you know what,
I'm the
Sarah?
youngest person on this podcast.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I have so many clapbacks for you, and I'm gonna bite my tongue.
I'm the youngest person on this podcast. There's no ill will towards anyone. I still have time to write an opera, is all I'm saying.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well,
Because
so does
Couple
Ashley. I
months.
feel like she has until the
Work.
end of the calendar 35
yeah, that's true.
year.
Ashley, you have until next May to start writing an opera and you'll be fine.
And if
Oh my
you're
God.
like
Okay, well,
Tchaikovsky,
that's actually, I feel relieved. It was the
Yeah.
pressure that was getting to me.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You have all kinds of time.
and if you're like Tchaikovsky, if someone offers you 800 rubles, you'll do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. You have established earlier
a
on in the
year's work.
series that you are willing
not
to work
800
for 800
rubles.
rubles.
800 1800s rubles.
Excuse me. Yeah,
$20K.
$20,000 is what she's
20K
available
today's
for.
day,
Mhm.
today's rate.
So he's 35 and he starts writing his first major commercial success, which is based on a French book called La Bohème. So this is the beginning of his sort of the middle of his career. Okay. La Bohème, obviously we've heard of this. To this day, La Bohème is Puccini's most like performed opera throughout the world, like over the course of history. La Bohème is.
Mm.
And that's based, like I said, on all of his works for the most part, and in general was common in opera, is that they're not like originals, like original stories that you're writing. It's like based on a previous work of some kind, almost always. So La Bohème is based on a French book about the Bohemian lifestyle in France. This La Bohème, the opera, debuts in 1896 and becomes popular very quickly throughout Europe and obviously eventually the rest of the world. After La Bohème, he gets to work on his next opera, which debuts 4 years later, and this one is called Tosca. So he's on, in sports, what we like to call a heater.
Yeah. And what we like to call in arts,
A heater.
a heater.
A generational run.
He's on a generational run. So he writes Tosca 4 years later, or within the next 4 years. It debuts 4 years later. And that's based on a play called La Tosca. So that's very common that something is a play and then it gets turned into an opera by a composer.
Wait, I have a
And so,
question.
please.
You need to save me from myself because I'm feeling uncultured. Is it Tosca or is it Tosca? It's Tosca?
I think so. In
I think
Italian.
Tosca is more Italian.
But
yes.
everyone says Tosca. And
Okay, I was
common
worried that
vernacular,
I'm the fool here. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
I mean-
either or, but you're doing it appropriate. Continue.
Right. There's actually, we're going to get to Turandot, but there was actually for a long time some debate over whether the T at the end of Turandot is pronounced or not.
Okay,
And
but
Italians
Turandot
would
or
That's
pronounce it.
Turandot?
interesting.
I don't know if they were saying Turandot. I was reading this that like sometimes the T was pronounced at the end, but I don't know if it would change the pronunciation of the O or not, if it was Turandot or Turandot.
Because
Mhm.
Turandot sounds cheap.
Turandot has become the most accepted pronunciation of
Yes.
the opera. But we'll just go with Tosca for now. And it is, at this time, there's some like mixed reviews amongst critics. They're a little polarized. It's seen as very like melodramatic. He actually was like, we could probably eventually do an episode about Tosca specifically,
Mhm.
but it's a very, very dramatic play that he's turning into an opera, and a lot of people warn him in the process about turning it into an opera because it's so hard to adapt because of how dramatic it is. So there's like a lot of dark themes, violence, things like that. So it's a little polarizing for people in terms of the actual adaptation of it, but generally the music itself is widely praised and contains some of Puccini's most famous works, as we know and as we've heard. So I know what I said about being on a heater. I don't really know what you call this next, because next he starts working on Madame Butterfly.
Oh my God.
I'm shocked. And like I know all this, but it's like when you say it all
But
in
3 in a row.
succession.
These are his 3 in a row.
Yeah. I mean, this is like when you see somebody perform at the Super Bowl and you're like, "Oh my God, I forgot that they sang that."
Yeah. It
Only
is.
like
It's like Rihanna being up there doing one hit after another, after
Yes.
another, after
Yeah.
another.
and you're like, "Wow, she had a lot." Only this time it's like 3-hour
Yeah.
operas in a row
yes.
at the
Yes.
Super Bowl.
So Madame Butterfly is the first time that he draws inspiration from Asian culture for his work, which he will also do for Turandot. So I'm not going to sit and talk Madame Butterfly, but Madame Butterfly is Japanese influenced, and then Turandot later will be Chinese
We're
influenced.
doing another Lore Horse episode on Madame Butterfly.
Totally.
Yes.
That's what's crazy is like
Yeah.
we could do 4 lore
Yeah.
horses about the works of Puccini.
Yeah.
So amazing.
Mhm.
He actually he doesn't complete Madame Butterfly as quickly because he gets in a very bad car accident while he's working on it with his wife and son, who are thrown from the car. They like flip on a on a cliff. The car
Jesus
flips.
Christ.
The wife and son are thrown from the car and only sustain minor injuries, but Puccini gets like pinned underneath the car and has to be like, there happens to be doctors like nearby in the town that hear the crash and come and save him, basically.
Jesus.
But this like delays his completion of Madame Butterfly.
Oh my
This is also
God.
very 1800s. Like doctors
Mhm.
in the nearby village hear your car crash and come to save the day.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely. Yes.
Wild.
But it's also making me feel like Puccini shouldn't be young enough to be around with cars. That's like, it just feels like these things should be not of the same time.
Yeah, well, I mean, remember that this is like 1903, I believe, is when the car accident is. And so it's like these early versions of automobiles.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
feel like this is a millennial thing where we feel like great art was made before technology. And then
Yes.
it feels kind of cheap putting technology and great art together.
Yes,
That's
it's
true.
very that.
Yeah.
I don't
true.
want to ever hear about a car and an opera.
Ever.
You need
No.
to be riding a horse through the
Yes.
across the moors,
Time
across
saddle,
the Italian
because women don't
countryside.
have rights.
Yeah.
No, you should be walking to the church where generations of other maestros have walked. Like,
Yeah.
that's what should be happening. You shouldn't be getting gas.
If it helps, the car was being driven by his chauffeur.
That does help, but what is kind of taking me out of it is that his wife and son were hurled out of it and
Right, like it's going
sustained
fast
minor
enough to
injuries.
hurl.
Yeah.
I bet it didn't have like a hood. I bet it was like a convertible.
1,000% not.
Yeah.
And no seatbelts.
No
Oh,
seatbelts
No
for sure.
seatbelts. Oh my God, those weren't
Yeah.
until the 1970s.
All
and
great
people-
art
Yeah.
was made before seatbelts.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes me
Yeah.
feel
Because
much
there's a
better.
little bit of danger.
Yeah, exactly. People
Not
are
Ashley agreeing.
feeling their mortality a bit more without.
We
the
had
seatbelt
side
protection.
curtain airbags before Moulin Rouge came out.
Okay, well, that's an anomaly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I stand
Now
corrected.
back to side curtains.
Yeah.
When Madame Butterfly first comes out, it's not well received, actually, and he revises it, and he kind of does like a second premiere after he does a big revision of it, and that's the one that becomes a big success. So good at taking feedback in this instance.
Yes, I'm excited to do more lore horses on Puccini eventually to just learn more about all of these pieces. Please
Yeah.
continue.
So he becomes a little bit less productive after Madame Butterfly. He's still dealing with the effects of the car accident. One of his creative partners dies. He also begins to have some marital problems. And he's in an on again, off again friendship with his main creative partner, the conductor of his operas, Arthur Toscanini. who's a very, very famous conductor, mostly for working with Puccini. And at one point, I just thought this was a little bit fun. At one point, while they're feuding, Puccini sends Toscanini some panettone, which is like an Italian sweetbread, in the mail with a note that says panettone sent by mistake. And then Toscanini sends a message back to him that says panettone eaten by mistake.
That's a makeup, I feel
Like they're like fighting a little, but yeah.
That's kind of cute.
They're like joking around about fighting with each other.
Yeah.
That is cute.
It's toxic, but it's cute.
Yeah.
Definitely both of those things. We've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all sent panini by mistake.
Panini.
Eaten by mistake.
So let's fast forward 20 years when Puccini begins working on what we're talking about here. So this is in the 1920s. He's working on Turandot. Okay. Turandot is said to have a couple.
It's
How
that
is he-
young?
What?
Yes.
60 at this point? How old is he at this point? 50? No, not 50. Like
He was
60,
born
70?
in 1858.
Okay,
So
so
he
he's
would
70.
be about
60.
62 when he starts working in 1920. He would be 62.
Oh my god. Age really is just a number.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And so is 1920, the
Just
year.
a number.
There are
Um,
flappers around and he's creating this.
Yeah, well, and
That's
it's interesting
funny.
you guys are talking about the technology piece and everything, because in some of the reading that I was doing on different opera sites, like some people are sort of like Turandot is like the end of opera. Like really, because this is when in this era, like movies start to become a real technological possibility more and more.
Mhm.
And
Mm.
so this sort of opera like starts to die out. It starts to become less culturally relevant. So in a lot of way, like a lot of people see this as sort of a bookend to the opera era. So Turandot is said to have a couple possible origins. One of the origins might be an epic poem called Haft Peykar, which was written in Persia in 1197. Very old.
There we go.
Very old.
That's right.
So that and the name of that epic poem roughly translates into 7 portraits, and it's like 7 short stories, and one of them pretty closely mirrors the main princess character ultimately in the opera, who's like the quote unquote ice princess. And
It's
so
Michelle Trachtenberg.
and it's Michelle Trachtenberg. And so another possible origin is there's a collection of stories that's published in 1722 called The 1001 Days. There's some speculation that this collection of stories is mostly actually a translation of ancient Middle Eastern stories, including some of this epic poem. And then there's some speculation that it's more original work and it just happens to be very similar. But there is a story in that The 1001 Days book in 1722 that's similar to the Turandot story. But either way, that book is the one that becomes the basis for Italian playwright Carlo Gozzi to write a play called Turandot. And that play called Turandot is the basis for a German playwright, Friedrich Schiller, to adapt the play again. And that German adaptation is the inspiration for our Nepo baby, Giacomo Puccini, to write the opera.
Mm.
So
I love that he's a Nepo baby when it was his great. I wonder, when do we cut off the nepotism?
well, but it was his great grandfather
Who
then
started
that
it?
the
down.
maestro job was just passed down through the
That to me
family.
is crazy. Like, you don't know if your kids are going to be good at being maestros.
No, and you know what? In Europe, they still kind of really believe in like the blood transfers the power.
talent.
Yeah.
The talent.
Like they
Which
still
is
think that like the monarchy like were truly like chosen by God.
chosen.
That was a whole
Right.
thing in that movie, The Queen, where they realized that Elizabeth really believes it. That she really believes that.
No, they believe it, and it's like, you guys look in a mirror. It looks a little inbred, and I don't think God would have chosen all of that. Maybe some of it, but not all of it. I think if God had a choice, he would choose that you wouldn't sleep with one of your cousins. You know, I think if he would have chosen
It's
that.
hard to know for sure.
Well, we'll
but
never
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Keep it in the bloodline. Okay, what are you? A dog?
What are
No.
you? An
Bad for
Italian
dogs
maestro?
too.
Yeah,
what
it's bad for dogs also, famously.
I think that's still such a weird thing because it's a weird thing of like, do you know who my family is? That's still very like a very European, Eurocentric thing. I'm not going to blame all Europeans, but it's especially like in the UK of like, do you know who my family is? And I'm like, I don't.
I do not think this is purely European, even now. I'll just say that.
It takes a lot of confidence to come out and be like, I'm going to write operas. I'm going to be an original composer. My music is great. It takes a lot of like confidence to put your art out there. And I think that being a child of a legendary line of nepotism babies helps with that confidence.
Well, it's like Gracie Abrams literally just did an interview.
I was going to bring her up.
And she was asked about being a Nepo baby because her dad is J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
And she said, you know, like, I think it's less about like the opportunities. Like, she's like, obviously the opportunities are afforded to you, but it's like the time allowed to you to work on a craft like this and the confidence you have to be able to just like put it out there is stuff that you can't give to someone else with like money or an open door. Like, it's like this extra time and confidence.
And the other thing that I really think is so important is that like when you've seen someone around you or someone close to you, if they've done something that's impossible or like unbelievable, you don't ever see it for 1 second as impossible or unbelievable. Like, and I'm not a Nepo baby in any sense. And I reveal, I'm like, my father was George Washington.
Do you know who my family is?
Do you know? But I asked earnestly. But I remember like when I saw Kimmy Meisner become a world champion, and it was like she was just a girl from Delaware. And like she was a world champion. And like imagine if like you grew up and you were born and like somebody you knew was like an Oscar winner, or like they were like a Grammy winner, or they were an Olympic champion. Never for 1 second would you ever think it was like impossible, or like things like that don't happen to people like us. You never have those prejudice against yourself.
Yeah. And here we are.
Talking about Gracie Abrams during a Madam Butterfly.
Turandot.
I do think it's interesting that one of the main skaters we will talk about skating to this music is the first from their country to win an Olympic gold medal in their discipline. And it makes a big difference. People can see themselves in that person.
More than one, actually. One of the other ones was not actually skating to Turandot when they won, but they did go on to win. So
okay. See, it all comes back to nepotism.
It does.
It does.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so in the opera, so now I'm going to tell you the story of the opera. I'm going to tell you guys, I had no idea what this was about.
When you were talking about the stories, you were saying it in a way where it was like people know this, and I'm sitting here going, I don't know what this is about at all.
I did not know this story at all. And so in the opera, Turandot is the name of a princess in ancient China.
Didn't know that.
I didn't even know that it was Chinese.
This is set in China. Yes. It is set in quote unquote legendary China.
Ooh, that
in the
sounds
Forbidden City.
Very white.
Yeah. And so Turandot is portrayed as this cold-hearted princess, and her father is the emperor, and she is posing a deal for suitors for her hand in marriage. If you want to marry her, you have to correctly answer 3 riddles. And if you do it, she'll marry you. And if you get one wrong, you get executed. So you volunteer if you want to try.
Deal. Bad deal.
So you volunteer if you want to try. Okay.
They should do this on Love Island.
Sorry, you're getting
None
executed.
of those men could do any riddles. I'm just gonna say that now.
No, and none of those women can
agree.
like that one. Got Kenzie girl is maybe the dumbest girl on earth.
What's the male version of a bachelorette? I think it's just a bachelorette.
That was Melanie, wasn't it?
That was a real conversation. It was Anaya and Melanie, I think.
I mean, all of them not knowing what New Hampshire was. I just
And Sarah, it's important you said it that
New Hampshire.
It's important you phrased it the way you did, not knowing what it was and versus not knowing where it is.
Yeah, no, they didn't know what it was.
No.
Yeah.
So Kenzie recently just saying like my why was I almost didn't graduate 5th grade. And so that motivated me to become a nurse.
To prove I can.
And then on TV, she gets the eye prescription wrong.
Yes.
What she said, like 2030 is better than
2013.
2020.
Amazing.
It's incredible.
My favorite thing is the conversation about how she does splits to regulate her nervous system.
Her vagus nerve. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, but back to Turandot.
It's working.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the first act of the opera, the Prince of Persia has just failed at this riddle challenge, and he's set to be executed. Okay, and so there's a crowd outside the palace waiting for his execution to like watch the execution, essentially. And among the people in the crowd is a young man named, and I don't know how to pronounce this, Caliph is how it's spelled, Calaf. So Caliph is in the crowd, and in the crowd, he recognizes an old man and realizes that the man is his long lost father, who was a former king of a region that is broadly kind of like the like Kazakhstan, Mongolia region. But he had a father who was a king who was like vanquished. And so he got separated from him and then finds him again in this crowd outside the palace. And his father is accompanied by a slave girl named Liu. And the father tells Caliph that Liu is the only one who remained loyal to him after he was vanquished, and that she's been with him all these years to like serve him in his court or whatever. And Caliph asks why she stayed loyal to his father, and she says, because you smiled at me once when they were young. So Liu is in love with Caliph. Okay. So she's in love with Caliph. And then Princess Turandot emerges for the execution.
Oh, and she watches?
The crowd.
Amazing.
Well, she orders it ultimately.
I love this girl.
She's the most hardcore person I've ever met.
I would have never guessed this level of intensity and severity from the beauty of this music.
Oh, just wait. Just wait.
Okay.
So she comes out, and the whole crowd is like begging for her to show the Prince of Persia mercy. They're like, don't execute him. He doesn't deserve this. She executes him anyway. And
she's like Wendy Williams. Should they suffer?
Clap if you think he should suffer.
Nobody claps, and she's like, off with their head.
Yeah.
And so upon seeing this beautiful act of kindness, Caliph decides that he wants to win Princess Turandot over, and he wants to do the riddles. And his dad and Liu and other people try to talk him out of doing this. And he's like, no, I want to. And so the end of Act 1 is he rings a gong that signifies like a new suitor that wants to try. So that's like so he decides that he like wants to win the princess. Okay.
This is like next level being addicted to dating crazy women. Like,
yeah.
He needs drama in his relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle, do you know what happens in this?
I have no idea.
Okay. I want us to guess. Who thinks he lives?
I think he lives based on like the big, beautiful ending. Like,
okay.
I feel like
you don't know what the ending is, though.
I'm gonna guess
I
that
assure you.
he guesses the riddles.
Because I know what you think it is.
And he sings Nessun Dorma to her, and it's so beautiful, and then she kills him anyway.
No,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna say
Ashley, what do you think? You think he dies?
I think he dies.
Okay.
No, I'm
Adam,
gonna say
you think he
she
lives?
kills herself.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
What else? She's so bored. Like she's so bored.
Okay. So
What
in
else
Act
should I
2,
do?
Single.
in Act 2, Caliph meets Turandot to do his riddles. She explains to him that she doesn't ever want to belong to a man because one of her ancestors was abducted and killed by a conquering prince. And so that's why she's like instituted this riddle thing so that she can hopefully never belong to a man. Okay. So then they begin the riddles. Do you guys want to guess the riddles? I'll ask you the riddles. It's each a one-word answer. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
What is born each night and dies each dawn?
The moon.
Yeah, the
Okay.
moon.
Yeah.
You all say the moon. Okay. The answer is hope.
Off with her head.
So you guys would be executed by now.
Literally terrible riddle.
I mean, look, I'm just telling you like I see it. So he answers it correctly. He says hope. Okay. Her next riddle, you guys can
She
try
should
this
marry
one.
him right
This
there.
is
That's
also
like,
one word. Okay.
Okay.
What flickers red and warm like a flame, yet is not a flame?
Anger.
Okay.
Love.
Okay.
both of those are good. I think
These don't make that much sense. The answer, which he gets correct, is blood.
Flicker.
That doesn't
barely
make
know her.
sense. Okay, he's cheating.
I was maybe
mean-
going to say a cat, but blood is like
She's giving like godly gook nonsense.
a
Look.
cat flickers more than blood does.
I mean, you're right. So now Turandot is a little bit shaken up because she's like, oh no, he's like getting my riddles right. So she asks him the third one. What is like ice but burns, and if it accepts you as a slave, makes you a king?
Her.
Ashley wins.
Wow.
Turandot is the answer to this one.
Oh my
So
god, I'm
he
still
gets them
dead.
all
But
right. He gets them all right. Yeah, you died before that one, but you did get that one right.
Yeah.
So he gets them all right, and she is shocked that he gets them all right. And she begs the emperor, her father, to not give her away to him. She's like, no, I don't want to do this. Like, I thought he wouldn't get them right. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, please don't give it away. Don't give me away. And so Caliph is like, I'm going to give her one. I'll give you one more chance to not have to marry me. And he says, if you can correctly guess my name by dawn, I'll be executed. But if you don't guess it, you have to marry me still.
Wait, why is he offering his own execution?
this is stupid.
That's the end of Act 2. Okay.
Oh, he probably has to because the maybe the public knows that a suitor arrived because he banged the
Yes.
gong. So either someone dies or she gets married.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it has to be one or the other. He can't like go away and
Wait,
leave
okay,
her
so now
alone.
he's actually a gentleman.
Well, so now he's like, if you say my name correctly before dawn, I'll be executed. And
What about
so,
Eponine? I feel like she's going to show up at some point. Liu.
So now we come to Act 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
After the prince's proposition, the princess declares. So he's a prince, by the way. I'm calling him the prince because his dad was a former king.
Mhm.
So after he proposes that if she finds out his name, she can like stay free from him. She announces that no one will sleep that night until she discovers his name. And if they don't, so she's basically telling the whole town, like, you have to help me find out his name or I'm going to execute.
Crowdsourcing?
She says, I'm going to execute everybody if we don't find it.
Yeah.
That's what she says. Okay.
Yeah.
And she says,
She's
no one will sleep.
horrible.
So this leads Caliph to sing a song called Let No One Sleep, or as they say in Italian,
It's-
Nessun Dorma.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So it is
Okay.
not the ending of the opera. It is
No.
in the middle of the third act. And
It's
it
the
is
beginning of a mental breakdown.
So this is obviously the most famous part of the opera. It's one of the most famous arias in all of opera history. But it's actually the song is in which Caliph is being like a little bit arrogant and he's being very hopeful that he's going to win this bet with the princess and get her to fall for him. And so the aria ends with him saying the words, "At dawn, I will win, I will win, I will win, vincero, vincero, vincero." That's the final.
Whoa.
So that's what
I
those
just got
mean.
chills.
Yeah.
Oh, Lou is coming in and screwing. Alyssa Lou is coming in and screwing this over.
Anna Sherbakova.
Yeah. So the vincero is like he's like he's saying I will win, which I just like did not. I don't know what these lyrics mean. You know what I mean?
Alyssa Lou is going to tell Turandot what his name is.
So
1,000%. Wait, I'm going to experience these Turandot programs so differently now.
Yeah. I don't think most of the Turandot programs we're going to talk about did the story.
No, I don't think so. So the princess does track down Liu and tortures her for Caliph's name, and Liu does not give it up. And when the princess asks Liu where she gets her strength, she says love. And then Liu grabs a dagger and kills herself. So Liu dies protecting his secret.
Wow.
And when the dawn comes, they're doing a funeral procession for Liu. The princess meets Caliph again, and he kind of out of nowhere like surprises her and kisses her. And it's depicted as this being kind of the first time that she feels any sort of real affection, because like he really does like want to be with her. And so he like, you know, the Nessun Dorma is like in part a little bit arrogant of like, I'm going to beat her, I'm going to win. And in part of it is like, love is going to like conquer this obstacle. So anyway, she goes and says to the crowd that she knows his name and it is love. And that's how the opera ends.
I'm sorry, this is actually giving Melanie and Sincere to me.
Yeah, it is.
The people who don't watch Love Island who listen to this podcast are going to be very confused.
I don't know that there's that big of a crossover that like of people that don't watch it. Like I feel like most of the listeners are
so
watching
hard
Love
to
Island.
Keep up with 6 episodes a week. I don't have
Believe
the
me,
time.
it's not. It's number one priority.
It is not. Yeah,
I agree.
It's the first thing I think about.
Yeah,
yeah.
I see it at 6 o'clock. I'm like, okay, it's Love Island time.
I have to.
You're so lucky you get to watch it at 6. It's my bedtime show. I like watch it and then I roll over and I think about how messy everyone is and then I drift off to sleep.
It's my nightly news. It's on first thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not ready for that ending.
But it's like a happy ending in the end.
This in some ways.
This is similar to Les Mis, like with Eponine dying for her love, and then he has a happy ending with the girl, the rich girl he wants.
Didn't know that.
So it's almost like Liu didn't need to die.
It is almost exactly like that. He just needed to go make out with her.
This is what you guys get for assuming she would betray him, though, because she didn't.
No, she betrayed someone else. And she almost betrayed her entire kingdom.
No, she didn't. She didn't betray anyone.
Figure out his name or I'm going to fucking kill all of you. Good night.
Well, that's Turandot. We're talking about Lou.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's... Yeah, Turandot is the evil one, or the cold-hearted one, excuse me.
Yeah.
Rosie has a book that we read pretty much nightly called Princess Smarty Pants, and it's a very similar vibe, I will be honest.
Okay.
The threat of violence at every turn.
She doesn't want to get married, and then she turns the last guy into a toad.
Well,
good for her.
Yeah, I'm really trying to create a little feminist.
Yeah.
Which has nothing to do with this book, but...
Yeah.
So Puccini took inspiration from Asian culture, like I said, for this opera, as he had for Madame Butterfly. The Far East was still very fascinating and very much kind of an unknown to European people at this time. So as a result, we have an Italian composer writing a Chinese opera without having ever been to China. And so a lot of the characters and the archetypes in the story are very stereotypical. So it catches criticism for that because it's just not very authentic. There's three.
At the time it caught criticism, or like now when people kind of consume it and
I mean, I think at the time, it was not allowed to be produced in China for many years because of the way it depicted China. So I think there was some at the time, maybe more people who were like in China, and now it's seen more across the world as like, obviously this is not completely authentic. He is more successful in authentically adding Chinese influence to the music itself. He has he like knew the former Italian ambassador to China, who gave him a music box that he got in China that plays 4 Chinese melodies on it. And Puccini incorporates 3 of the 4 melodies in the
That's so
opera.
cool.
Yeah. And he also commissioned a set of 13 custom gongs that he uses to make the music kind of bigger and have like those big, like bombastic sounds that he uses to like bring that culture into the music. So Puccini died before he finished it, though. So he writes this story all the way until Liu dies.
Okay.
But the ending that I said, where they get together and she says his name is Love, that was not written by Puccini. So he gets diagnosed with throat cancer in October of 1924. He goes to visit Toscanini a month before he dies and says, "Don't let my Turandot die." And then he passes away actually of a heart attack. So I think his cancer had probably just like progressed quite a ways and he was just in poor health at this point. So he dies like a month after he visits Toscanini. He dies only like 6 weeks after getting the diagnosis. And he had not written the final scenes where the princess gives in to Caliph. And so, but he had sketched out the ending. And so those sketches become the basis for another composer, Franco Alfano, to write the ending. And then Toscanini works with Alfano to revise what he writes, and that becomes like the standard ending that we kind of know that I just told you. The opera premieres at La Scala Opera House in Milan on a day that is, stay with me, not too hot, not too cold. All you need is a light jacket. April 25th. 1926.
Incredible.
Anybody?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I thought you were going to say January 6th.
No, I was
That's
gonna
the
quote.
second one.
No, this is from it's during like a pageant, but I don't know what movie it's from.
In Miss Congeniality.
Yeah.
She said,
What's your
describe your
favorite-
perfect date.
Perfect.
Yeah.
date.
April 25th. Yeah.
It's so funny.
So Toscanini conducts the premiere of it, and he stops the orchestra before the end of Act 3. He turns to the audience. He says, "Here the opera ends," because at this point the maestro died, and they don't finish it. They lower the curtain and they stop where he stopped writing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Theater people in the arts are so dramatic, and this is the
Kind of
shit that I
beautiful,
live
though.
for.
Yeah.
I
It is
live
beautiful.
for that. I think
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so cool.
And so it spreads throughout Europe and the United States. Like I said, it's not approved for production in China until 1998. So over 70 years later is the first time it debuts in China in 98. There have been a few, because it was not finished by the composer, there have been some high profile like rewritings of the end of Turandot. To interpret what people feel like is the proper ending. The most recent rewriting of the ending was done by Christopher Tin and Susan Stanton. You may recognize those names. They redid it in 2024 for the Washington National Opera. And Christopher Tin's version was what was used by Yuma Kakiyama last season. And their goal when they rewrote it was to add some depth to Caliph's character, to basically give more of a reason why the princess ultimately falls in love with him. Because they're like, You know, that's one of the criticisms of the ending is that it's just like, okay, it's just because of this like kiss, or like, is it just hormonal? Is it just purely physical attraction? Is she saying love?
She sees that another woman loves him and then he becomes desirable.
Yeah. So they try to add, there have been other endings that try to add some depth to his character to like provide like basically good qualities. And then this is my last little bit. Obviously separate of the opera itself, the song Nessun Dorma has had a life of its own. The most popular version in modern culture is sung by Luciano Pavarotti, which was recorded in 1972. In the last 40 years or so, it's become a bit of a sports anthem, which started with the 1990 World Cup that was held in Italy. And that was sort of an anthem for the World Cup being held there. And actually the BBC used that song as its like theme song for its coverage. And then on the eve of the World Cup final, Pavarotti performed Nessun Dorma with two other opera singers. They're called the Three Tenors. And it became this hugely famous performance. And the song like shot through the charts in the Western world. It was like number 2 in the UK at one point. So it became, and then it becomes this like tradition for 3 more World Cups after that it's performed like that by the same group of men. And then Andrea Bocelli performs it at the opening ceremony of the 2006 Winter Olympics. And then he reprises that 20 years later for the Milan Cortina Olympics, as we saw. One of the things that I think is really interesting, like the I will win at the end is obviously like you kind of get it, like for sports, like I will win, whatever. But you know, the like kind of chorus of women that plays before the big crescendo at the end. These are women in the town that are saying, no one will know his name and we will have to die.
That is so crazy.
Yeah. And that's what it's this beautiful part of the song that I love. That's like that little singing before it gets really big again. Yeah. And they're singing that we're going to die. Like,
yeah. They're basically like, fuck. Oh, fuck. This is not going to go well.
But yeah, so Nessun Dorma is like, it's ubiquitous in pop culture. People all know this tune. I did find it funny on the Wikipedia page for Nessun Dorma. It lists like a bunch of movies that it's featured in, and a lot of them I didn't know or hadn't seen. And one of them is just Bend It Like Beckham. And I went and watched the final scene of Bend It Like Beckham when she scores this winning goal. Oh, yeah. And there's an Indian wedding taking place, and Nessun Dorma is playing.
It's random.
So never forget its cultural impact. No one will know his name. We will die.
Luciano Pavarotti performed it at the closing ceremony of the 2006 Olympics as well.
Excuse me. Yes, that's correct.
And it was his final public performance.
It was, and actually he lip synced it because it was too cold for him to sing live.
Oh,
so they used a recording of it.
A skater named Kimmy Meisner was there in the arena and was very affected by it. I don't know if she knew it wasn't sung live, but
she might now.
Now that you're telling her. She's going, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Michelle, take it away. That's Turandot.
Yeah, wow. I mean, that's like, I'm sort of like whelmed by this like change in this story is like not what I expected. It's intricate and it's interesting. So
and it's darker, I feel like, than I thought. Like I think of Nessun Dorma as this like beautiful love song,
uplifting.
Yeah.
Well, I assume every opera is dark.
Yeah,
I never listen to an opera and go, things are going well for the main character.
Yeah, no. It's usually like there's a 90% chance that someone will die or that a whole town will die.
Because no one will know his name.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd leave
the whole town.
I would leave the town. That's all. I would be like, fuck this. I'm out. Bye.
I know.
Yeah.
Also, another version of Nessun Dorma Aretha Franklin. One
Correct.
night,
And she actually filled in for Luciano Pavarotti at the
Yes.
1998 Grammys. He was supposed to perform it and he got sick and he couldn't. And so she came out and did it kind of impromptu. And it was a very amazing version.
Wow.
she
Yeah.
does like a half English and then kind of does the bigger parts in Italian. Like it's amazing.
Incredible. Yeah. Nessun Dorma's, I mean, I'm just like, I'm still reeling from this research because I
Yeah.
love this piece of music so much and I
Yeah.
feel like I didn't know it at all.
No,
Yeah.
it's shocking.
Does it change your relationship at all?
No, but I mean, I guess not, but it is so, I mean, it just goes to show the like way that things can just change over time, like in
Mhm.
interpretation of art. Like even thinking about like 1197, a poem becomes ultimately like Shoma Uno at Japan Open in 2015, which makes a great impact on me
butterfly
personally.
effect.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah.
It's wild.
You know, I never realized Yuma's version was like a new adaptation of the ending. I just assumed that I was like an idiot and never had heard it when listening to the music before.
No, it was the Christopher Tin version, and Christopher Tin like posted about it and was really
arranged it
excited
for him.
Yeah, he helped him arrange it and he was
Oh,
like
that's
posting
cool.
about it during the Olympics and stuff. Yeah, he was so yeah, so it's like obviously he keeps a lot of the familiar parts of the opera, but there's like some new orchestration that he did.
Yeah. Jackie Wong did an interview with him during Milan, and I never got to listen to it because I was too busy working, but he did a whole interview with him about how he put it together for Yuma and how amazed he is by Yuma. So
Wow. Wait, I'm gonna have to
yeah.
listen to that. I'm writing that down.
Yeah. So it's interesting that China was not receptive to this until the late 90s when it premiered there, because now I feel like at least Chinese skating has wholly embraced this opera. And this is like,
That's where my head went immediately.
this is like Chinese Olympic champion music, like
Yes.
coronation music for Chinese skaters, pairs in particular. So in the adaptation, so you said it premiered in 98. So in 99, a Chinese film director named Yimu Zhang collaborated with a conductor named Zubin Mehta and put on an elaborate production of Turandot in the Forbidden City of Beijing. And the Chinese pair team, Xue Shen and Hangbo Zhao, drew inspiration from this performance and they didn't choreograph it, but they had a free skate choreographed for them by Leah Ann Miller, and they like drew inspiration from this performance in their performance of this free skate. So they had this free skate for 2 seasons, the 2001-2002 Olympic season and the 2002-2003 season. So it was Leah Ann Miller, Renee Roca, and Gorsha Sir collaborated all on this. And this program was like great. So Shen and Zhao were a team that always they had these stunning technical elements, but they were always working on developing their artistry and just musical performance and nuance, because they wanted to compete with the Russians. They wanted to break through. They wanted to be on top. And it was this is like the piece they were missing. So this program was like kind of a first big step in that direction, and keeping it for 2 seasons let them really like lean into and learn the program well and perform it. By the end of this 2-year cycle, it felt like they had achieved their mission, and we saw them as very emotional, artistic performers.
Yeah.
The other little issue they had is they didn't always skate cleanly. They often had issues with their side-by-side jumps, and that would sort of also kind of hold them back a bit. So at the 2002 Olympics, they attempted a throw quadruple Salchow, which had never been done before in competition cleanly. Xue Shen landed it. She landed it. She held it. It was about 4 feet of glide before she fell off the blade and fell. And they did this in their Olympic free skate. And she had said that controlling the impact of the landing was harder than achieving the rotations. So like she could rotate it no problem, but landing it and holding it was the hardest. And she said that she landed the throw after over 50 attempts in practice. So this was a lot of work to get this element. And as spoiler, they never actually ever competed it cleanly in competition. So at the Olympics, they finished third, and they became the first Chinese pairs to win an Olympic medal in figure skating. They went to 2002 Worlds. They also made some errors in their free skate there, but they won their first world title, and it was the first world title ever by a Chinese pair. They kept the program another season and further developed it. So the thing that's like, so I want to get to 2003 Worlds free skate, which I feel like is the definitive Shen and Zhao performance. And it's just so interesting because this team is like, they had these elements and they spent so much of their career constantly developing their artistry to the point where that became almost the strongest thing about them. Like they had these glorious throws and lifts and twists, but it was just every time they skate, they would like, they learned how to turn it on and would like bring you to tears. And it's like when you watch them early in their career, it's crazy because it's like what Adam described as like the Sarah Everhart stone face. It's just very stoic.
It's so hard to remember that they weren't always known as artists because they are so artistic in the second half of their career. Like they're the artists to me. Like they could do anything and I'd be in tears.
Emotional projection was unreal.
It's unreal.
Okay. So they were also during this season and before this, they started taking lessons at the Beijing Dance Academy to sort of improve their presentation. They worked with Western choreographers. So at 2003 Worlds, so they're the defending world champions. In practice at these Worlds, they're working on the throw quad Saukow. And Xue Shen has a really bad fall on it. She injures her right ankle and her knee. And this is in practice. And she had to get these injections into her leg in order to skate. This is her landing leg. So they skated well in the short program, but she said that her lower leg was completely numb and it felt, quote, like wood. So then before the free skate, she received 2 injections in her leg and essentially is skating on like a dead limb, like a wooden leg. Okay, they come out to skate their free skate. And I had to, when I send you the playlist of these, I clipped the Eurosport version because the ABC version is like wall-to-wall commentary. Like they cannot stop talking about them. I'm like, let them skate. There was like so much to say. Okay, so Hangbo Zhao was in a black costume with like a black billowy shirt, and he had these like red circles on the front, like up by his shoulder. And Xue Shen was in a red dress that had like one of those, like it was like strapless at the top, but it was all sheer and then went down to her arms, and then it had like gold across the front. It was very regal. She looked very expensive. Full mouth of braces too, which is cute. Yeah. They go out. They skated a completely clean performance. And this is in Washington, D.C. Worlds. And they are like building momentum with each element. And this crowd is just so behind them. So they do double axel into steps, triple toe. This huge throw triple Saukow. And then triple twist a little bit deeper in the program. They had a really high twist. And the crowd of each element is like gasping at the size of these elements. Double axel that they step right into spread eagles on the exit. They had really nice like connections and transitions in this program. Interesting like holds and moments where they would like hold a position and then glance up at the audience to like really emphasize like the dramatic impact of the music and the position. And then as like the music is cresting and going into Nessun Dorma, Xue Shen lands this huge throw triple loop. And the gasps. So the last minute of the program is Nessun Dorma. And the thing I think is so brilliant about this choreography is that the biggest points of the music, they don't have elements on them. They just have gestures. So there's a moment where they are holding hands and they have their arms outstretched and they look into the crowd and they just throw their heads back and like open their mouths like, and it's so effective. It's just like they're just, like relishing the like power of this music and this performance. There it is. Yeah. It's so effective. And then there's a moment at the end where Xue Shen just does a lunge with her arms back while Hangbo Zhao does a butterfly behind her. And it just is so poignant, and it really like dresses up the overall package of the performance without using an element to do that. It was just aura building. It was brilliant. Yeah. They had they had these also neat little transitions where there's one where she's skating and she's got her arm bent and he grabs her elbow and pulls her by her elbow, and just interesting little moments that are just these nuances that sort of kind of fill out the program and give it this sort of, makes it like this really interwoven tapestry that's just so engaging. Yeah, they have this beautiful carry lift as the music is building at the end. So the crowd, as you're watching this, they're in their last element is a lift. They're in their last lift, and the crowd is getting to its feet during the lift, and they still have the like lunge and butterfly to do before this ends. The crowd's on their feet like a while before they finish. It just like gives you goosebumps all over your body when you watch it. It's so powerful. So they received 2 6.0s for technical merit and 2 6.0s for artistic impression. Commentators on multiple networks, I watched a couple of different ones, all said they should have had more 6s. They said this is one of the greatest pair skating performances of all time. So of course, they won their second world title. And this was just like a triumphant and beautiful moment for pair skating. And like, honestly, all skating. I feel like this is one of the all-time moments in skating in general. I mean, in this century, this is like on the list of, I don't know, you're going to do top 10. This is going to be on there.
This is a top 10.
And she can't feel her leg.
And she can't feel her leg. Yeah.
Crazy.
The fight, this team was so injured through most of their career because I think they just trained really hard and they just push through. And like, they weren't fazed by it. They just, buckled down and sold it. So I think the combination of like a really good music cut, the really well-structured choreography, and the little nuances and the emotion they brought to it, plus their enormous throws, it just really created this magnificent package that just delivered cleanly with this crowd, was just magic. And this like became part of the legacy of Chinese pairs. Shen and Zhao like really built it, but like this is probably like one of their top 2 moments. I'm sure they would say their Olympic title is their other one, but yeah. And it would be 7 years until they won the Olympics because Hangbo Zhao would have a pretty bad Achilles injury before Torino, and they would barely manage to get ready for that and finish third there.
Wild.
Yeah. So it's funny because if Turandot was not really embraced by China until the late 90s, and within a couple years, it is a sacred part of their Chinese pairs tradition.
I mean, I think that it was so, once it was available, like once it was allowed to be played in China, I do think it was most likely like the white people on their team who were like, you might love this.
Yeah. Well, I think they went and saw the performance that happened in Beijing. Because or maybe it was broadcast, I don't know, but they talked a lot about how they drew inspiration from it. This was like a very like well-known thing that happened in the country. Okay. And I'm doing this lore a little bit differently, and because I feel like there are 2 essential figure skating Turandot programs. So I'm going to talk about them first, and then we'll go back and do everyone else in sequential order. So the second big one happened just a couple years later in 2006 at the Torino Olympics. And
Adam has sat up 3 inches in his
Adam's
chair.
favorite.
This is my favorite skater of all time.
Yeah. So Shizuka had a really interesting career in that she was in skating for a long time. She was at the Nagano Olympics. She was in it for a long time. So she won the 2004 world title. So she was with Richard Callahan until early March 2004, left him, went to Tatiana Tarasova, won worlds, and then she had a really difficult season after that because it's like she sort of lost her motivation. Like, what do I do now? I won worlds. And she had originally planned to retire after the 2004 season, but then after she won, she like couldn't make up her mind. So she, quote, lived in an undecided state and competed in the 04-05 season in this undecided state. And she had a Tarasova Tchaikovsky Romeo and Juliet program. in this undecided state season.
It was a mess.
Yeah, it wasn't great. And she finished 9th at 2005 Worlds, which is like a precipitous drop. I feel like this is one of the biggest drops ever for a world champion from 1st to 9th.
Yeah, that's tough.
It took her a full year to regain her motivation to like train and compete. And once she regained this motivation, she decided that she wanted to complete her athletic career with enjoyment and to complete her best performance just once, that she would keep going until she really achieved what she wanted to do. She wanted to have this one great moment and performance before she retired. So in fall 2005, she was traveling a lot back and forth to Japan, to Moscow to work with Tarasova. She came to Japanese nationals with just her Japanese coach. Tarasova wasn't there. She finished 3rd. I think so to this point, it was kind of an uninspired season. And then people were kind of wondering, or at least the people that I knew that were working in skating research at the time were wondering, like, what's going on with Shizuka? We haven't heard anything about her. She shows up at Torino with Nikolai Morozov. And she reveals that she went to him in November 2005. Hang on one second. Hang on. I'll take a quick break. BRB.
Michelle has a delivery coming.
This is one of my favorite performances of all time.
Really?
Yes. There was just something about Shizuka's skating that I loved. Like there's the way that she like holds herself on the ice is a little bit like extraterrestrial. Because there's something about like one of her arms like overextends in a certain way, and the way that she comes down is like so the positions that she hits are so unique in the way that it's like, oh, it doesn't look like I've never ever seen anybody like look exactly like her, do anything that looks similar to her, the way that she comes down or the way that she lands. I'm saying that like everything about Shizuka's skating feels almost extraterrestrial. Like she almost looks like an alien out there. Like there's something so like, who's this being? Like what is this? And it's, I mean,
you're
blows...
like Caliph and she's like your Turandot.
Yeah. And she
You're
said,
like, I don't know if she's human, but I want her.
Yes.
Remind us, was there overlap in your training at all?
I never skated. We never trained together. No.
Okay.
Because she had won the Olympics, and then I started skating with Nikolai about like a full calendar year later.
Okay.
When he had left Connecticut and she was already in Japan. But I did get to skate with her like in that year in like some Japanese show, and it was like the moment of a lifetime. It's what defined me as a person.
It's so interesting because I've run into Shizuka at a lot of different things, and there's something about Shizuka. Like we've had the privilege of meeting a lot of Olympic champions, but like when Shizuka arrives, I feel like the energy around her is like, that's Shizuka. Like
yes,
like royalty.
I would even say like this is where I get like bloodline, where I'm like, that's a royalty. Bloodline.
That's a royal.
Yes,
like that's a bloodline.
Royal.
Now.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I do think like if you think about like the Japanese, influence in skating now.
Yes.
And like the way they revere their skaters now, like Shizuka was their first Olympic champion in figure skating.
She's their mother.
I think it's just like it is literally like a royal reverence.
She's a
like,
patron saint.
Yes.
Like she's a saint of this sport.
Yeah. And so
Michelle,
and that is like contagious, if the Japanese delegation acts like that, everybody's going to feel like that.
Yes. And we'll get to the, like when Michelle gets her package, we'll get to it. But like even more so than her Olympic gold medal in Torino, she's the only Olympic medalist across every discipline, across every sport at the Torino Games. The Japanese team only gets one medal, and it's a gold medal, and it's Shizuka Arakawa's gold medal.
Yeah. Well, she was only the second Japanese athlete ever to win an Olympic gold at a Winter Games. Like they had
Wow.
one skiing gold medal before that, and that's it.
That feels crazy to me.
I know, because they have mountains there. Like
It's
you
snow,
would think
a
that
lot of
there's
it.
yeah. Yeah. So I am not surprised, Ashley, by what you're saying. Like I've never been around Shizuka, but it makes sense that there's like an aura following her around of like
Truly,
absolute
it's like the queen has
reverence.
arrived.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Right.
Well, it's
Right.
almost a little bit of like that like in Peggy Fleming and her Grenoble games, the US team across every sport only comes away with one gold medal, and it's Peggy Fleming.
Yeah. You become a hero after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. Michelle is back.
Sorry, I had
We're
a delivery.
back.
It was inconveniently timed. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Nikolai Morozov is with Shizuka. And she shows up to Torino with 2 new programs, basically. She has her free skate from 2004 that she won Worlds with, but it's been changed. It's been edited a little bit. Adam say all this. Adam can say this in his sleep. And then her short program is basically a version of the free skate she'd been skating that season, choreographed by Tarasova, by it's Fantasy Impromptu by Frederick Chopin. Nikolai basically edited it down and made it into a short program. And like she showed up in practice and it was like people were not considering her because she'd had a rough season so far. She was 9th at World. She shows up in practice as a Torino and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
She's landing multiple triple combinations in practice. Her skating looks totally refreshed. She is just like unbelievable. And it sort of unsettles everyone because it's like, oh my God, because you have these skaters who have their like planned triple double combinations. And it's just like, you feel like you know what the order is going to be. And then it's like, oh, that's not
right
what's going to happen. So I think Adam may have mentioned this, but at this point, when Shizuka goes out to skate, Japan has won no medals at these Olympics. 0.
Yep.
And Shizuka is in a different costume. So when she won Worlds, she had this black kind of lacy costume. It had this like it had this sleeveless look across the front. It was like a skating costume. It was just like black thing, you know. It wasn't special. The dress she comes out
says
in,
you.
well, I mean, it was fine. It was like someone you'd see like, oh, they're competing at Worlds.
This
isn't something that makes
to say.
It wasn't royal.
Mm.
I mean, she looked like royalty at these Olympics. She had this dress. It was down the middle split, blue. It was light blue on one side and royal blue on the other. And it had these long sleeves with sort of dropped wrists. So they were kind of like, you know, loose at the end. She was Princess
gorgeous. Yeah,
gorgeous.
The black one, I'd never seen it. When you describe it as a figure skating dress, that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like I could go on to like a figure skating.
Can you show it?
Yeah.
It's just like you go in the concourse and you need a Del Arbor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to find one here. This is mid jump. So I'm so sorry, girly, but this is the best one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a figure skating
It's
dress.
a nice dress.
Yeah.
It is a nice dress.
Also, her jump face is stunning. Like
annoying.
everyone else, her cheeks are going.
No, Shizuka's perfect.
Yeah. Adam is like Shizuka's publicist over here, working for
this
free.
This is my favorite skater.
This is his church.
The thing that's so interesting about her too is that when you watch her Worlds performance from 2004, she's got this dynamic energy and she's delivering it. She's fighting. She's like, I'm going to do this. Element after element. She lands her like second triple lutz and she's like, yes. And she's so like, she's like fighting, attacking, excited. Her aura at these games is different. She's got this coolness and this calmness to her. It's almost like if you think about like water in a stream flowing over rocks, just this gentle movement that is sort of transcendental. It feels like she feels like she's an alien, like you said, in this arena, because she doesn't feel like the other skaters. There's just like a cool energy to it.
She's too graceful for us.
Yeah. Mhm.
And like in this season, it was tough because she was
Mhm.
coming back from this 9th place finish at the World
Mhm.
Championship. So it's almost like I don't know what she's gonna do. Fumi
Mhm.
Saguri is as strong as ever, but
Mhm.
they're all in the shadows of Mao Asada. So it
Yeah.
just doesn't matter. Like anybody
Yeah.
can do anything, but like you two old fucking bitches are not
Yeah.
Mao Asada. And
Yeah.
so it doesn't allow any of them to like really shine until we get to Olympics where Mao's too young
Mhm.
to compete.
Mhm.
And now it's like, well, what will the Japanese team do? And you see like Fumi Saguri is in amazing shape,
Mhm.
but there is just something different about Shizuka. There's
Yeah.
an aura like you're
Mhm.
talking about.
Mhm. Yeah, it's magic. So Shizuka skated relatively early in the last group. She skated directly after Sasha. And this crowd is traumatized. The walls are red. Sasha
Yeah.
had
Nothing
crazy
worse has ever
mistakes.
happened
Yeah, like
to figure
Juliet
skating
literally
fans
has just
ever.
stabbed herself to death on the ice,
Yeah.
mid-ice in the Palavella.
Mhm.
And Shizuka comes out and she skates a pretty conservative but very clean program. She opens with triple Lutz double toe. For the record, she's capable of triple Lutz triple toe double toe. I mean, triple Lutz triple loop double toe. She did it in her free skate at Worlds. She was doing it in practices there. Then she does triple sow double toe. She'd been practicing triple sow triple toe. She just does doubles, triple flip. And Sandra Bezic said she knows with Sasha's performance, she doesn't need it. She needs a clean performance.
Mhm.
One thing I noticed rewatching this, I hadn't thought about it in a while, but Shizuka had a crazy lip. Her flip was like outside edge. So hard. I was like, did she do another Lutz there? No. That was a
It was
flip.
of the era. We didn't
It was.
care then.
But I feel like it's kind of badass in that era to have a lip and not a flutz.
Yes.
Like
It's
my Lutz is so
very
strong.
off. It's
I
very
can't do it.
off.
Yeah. Yeah. She does this beautiful spiral sequence. It's like her fourth element. She holds her leg up to the side,
Yes.
and she holds and goes forward, changes direction, and then she lets go of her she lets go of her leg and like flicks her wrist and has both of her arms up, and her leg stays up there, and she
It's
just glides.
unbelievable.
And it's this extraordinary position with this energy, this like calming, cool energy. Glorious.
It's like you can
I
feel the
do
audience
think-
gasp at it.
Yeah.
People who are not watching this podcast
Yeah.
are missing a silent performance by Adam through this entire section.
Yeah, there you go. Uh-huh. And just the way she held it and the stillness. It was this just like gorgeous like clarity and calmness to her movement. Like I said, like flowing water. And then she did a double axel as Ness and Dorma began. Nice triple Lutz. And then she made her one mistake at the program, doubled her loop.
So stupid. Ridiculous.
Well, for the record, Katarina Witt also doubled her loop in her 1988 Olympic free skate. So it's
It's a
just
good
what
omen.
Olympic champions do.
Mhm. Chris Yamaguchi did a double Salchow
Did she?
in 92. Oh, yeah. Because she had like.
I thought it was like a
wait.
triple and she like flopped over on it and was just like put her hand down.
She spun out of, I think, a loop, like put her hand down, and then her Salchow was her worst jump. And she was like, I can't risk it. Double.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. I want to go rewatch that. Okay. So then she, after this doubled loop, she goes around and she just does this gorgeous Ina Bauer. I mean, her back bends completely
Nobody
over
does it like that.
in the most, and the way the Ina Bauer is timed to the like rise in the music, it takes your breath away. And then she stood up and did triple sow, double toe, double loop. Then she goes to the end to start her step sequence, and she has her arms up at the start of her step sequence. I wrote down, it feels elemental. I mean, it feels just like so beautiful and so clear. She does the steps to the crescendo of Ness and Dorma. Adam could go out and do this step sequence right now. He's doing it in his mind.
He has goosebumps.
Full. Every hair on my body that hasn't been lasered off is up.
And it's this beautiful like violin music on this step sequence, and she just moves to it so nicely. She finishes, and Tom Hammond says, "So cool, yet fire in that program. Wow." And Sandra says her nickname is Cool Beauty. It was a cautious performance, but it was clean. And then Dick Button comes in. The easy elegance there was to that, with strength underneath it, magnificent quality. That's a lady skating.
A quote straight from Ashley Wagner. That's a woman.
Right. He's saying, lady,
Yeah.
I'm getting pissed off at a woman.
Yeah. Yeah. And Fumie Saguri skated after her and actually skated really well. But Fumie was like, they're like, nope, we're only getting one Japanese medal here. Hosed. I would argue, I think Fumie should have been second.
Yes, agreed.
Sorry.
No, she was hosed.
What did she end up fourth?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Arena Slutskaya skated last, and Arena started strong. But when she was skating this program, I was like, this doesn't beat Shizuka. I don't care what she does. I rewatched it this morning because I was like, come on. And then she doubled her flip, and then she fell on a triple loop. And it was and she was pissed. As soon as she hit the ice, you could see her being like, fuck. She was trying to be, Arena was so like bubbly and like cheerful, and she was trying to be smiley in the kiss and cry. She was just like devastated. But yeah, after Shizuka skated, she went into the lead.
Where they're like, complete the sweep.
Yes. Complete the sweep. And she was last, and it was her duty. And you can hear as the marks are coming up, the sound in the arena is so like, oh no, like you could hear the Russians are upset. And then you hear all the Japanese fans like roaring. And Shizuka, she went into the lead and she never left. And she was sitting backstage with her whole entourage and Nikolai Morozov watching the scores come in. And it's like she can't believe it. She wins gold. And it is Japan's only medal this entire Olympics. And to date, it's the only Japanese woman that has won an Olympic gold medal.
Insanity.
Which is crazy because you felt like Shizuka was like this. These were the last Japanese women that we were going to see that weren't like winners before you get to Mao and the baby generation. And in fact, this is the only one that they're going to have, which is just crazy. For who knows how long. Until 2030.
And now I'm feeling like they're cursed and they need to do something to...
They need to solve 3 riddles.
They do. Or else your chances of being Olympic champion will be killed off.
Yeah.
Or, exactly. And it's tough. Riddles are not easy because a lot of times they're fake answers.
You need Nikolai Morozov to help you solve the riddles.
You need 2 Russian witches to help you.
You're better off not.
It's so interesting
Nikolai
to me.
Morozov would solve the riddles, though, I do believe. I kind of am like seeing him in this role in the opera. And I'm like, no, I could see that.
Nikolai Morozov would be in the writer's room of the riddles.
Yeah.
That's...
Right. Emotional warfare. How can we mess up?
Shizuka had been doing all these triple jumps easily in practice. She had them. And he like made the decision with her, you're going to go out and just do triple doubles. And she skated before Arena. That was brave, because Arena had all this momentum.
I believe, I fully believe that like the goal was never Shizuka, you can win this. I believe the goal was like,
get a medal.
You can get a medal. And so go out there. And I firmly believe, because I watched every fucking Olympic ice. I watched every practice that you were able to watch, that if Nikolai was like, go out there and do your program, she would have done a clean program with like a triple. But I at least one, that Sao To. But I believe that like, he said, scale it back. They had just seen Sasha. You just get on the podium, because I also believe that Irina had this momentum where it was like, don't just let her get her medal. And you don't worry about that. You just get your medal. And it just so happened that the cards fell where they may.
Have you ever talked to Nikolai about that?
No. Well,
that'd be a cool thing to ask him about.
Oh yeah, I would love to know. I would love to ask Shizuka about it.
Yeah.
Hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
I've met Shizuka once, and I talked about dachshunds with her because she is a dachshund mother. She has multiple. I should have asked her that. I showed her a picture of Bridget.
And what were her thoughts?
She said, "Aw." She was really nice.
Okay, great. High praise.
Yeah. I was like, I love your dachshunds. Amazing. I love your skating too. So Shizuka wins this, and this is Japan is just like, holy shit. She becomes the Queen of Japan. She is
Mm.
crowned the Queen of Japan, still in that role to this day. She comes home to Japan, and in Sendai, where she grew up and trained, they have a homecoming parade for her. 73,000 people attend.
Mhm.
And she rode in a convertible, and she sat like up on the back of the convertible and was waving. I sent you guys the picture. And there were several junior skaters that she invited from Sendai that she invited to ride in the car with her. And I was only able to find one picture of this. I couldn't see all of I can only see one of their faces. But I'm wondering, like, was Yuzuru Hanyu in the convertible? Because he was training at Sendai. Yeah, there it is. You can see that
I'm
one
not
little
sure.
girl in the front, but
Yeah.
yeah. And she said, this gold medal is not only mine, but also one for the future of figure skating in this country. Hopefully this medal will help encourage younger generations of skaters to attain their goals. And then
And that's on
after,
nepotism.
yeah,
That's
Full
the beginning of
circle.
a royal bloodline.
yeah.
It is.
Do you know who my mother is?
That's what
It's
Yuzuru
Shizuka.
Hanyu was saying.
Shizuka
Yes.
When he
Arakawa.
went up
Shizuka
there.
That's what Monet
Arakawa.
Chiba should have said. I mean,
Yeah.
and the Japanese prime minister at the time, Junshiro Koizumi, he was an avid fan of Italian opera, and he took her in April to see a performance of Turandot.
Cool.
He said, not only am I happy, but I was lucky. Luck is still with me to have been with Shizuka at Turandot. And he told her, I have always liked Turandot. You impressed us all. And they said in this article, the 64-year-old bachelor told her. I'm like, why is that necessary? Are we trying to make something happen? Because I feel like if he's a 64-year-old bachelor who's obsessed with opera, that's not happening.
No.
Anyway.
But they'd want it to happen.
Yeah.
They'd want to
Right.
make it official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Royalty.
is the new Princess Diana of
Yes.
Japan.
Exactly.
Her win was such a sensation in Japan that the term Ina Bauer became popularized throughout the country, even outside the skating community. It was like a household term, Ina Bauer. Shizuka also skated to Nessun Dorma in the 2001-2002 season, but this was a different program. So it was meant to be her like Olympic performance in Salt Lake City, but she didn't make the team.
Mhm.
She did go to 4 continents and won the silver medal there with it. So 3 seasons of Turandot.
I
Wow.
admire that she brought it back for another, because I feel like sometimes you'd feel like, no, I'm not bringing that back.
didn't work.
go well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is kind of amazing.
Yeah. And I found this in one of her old bios. She started skating when she was 5 because she wanted to wear the beautiful costumes.
Mission
So,
accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Shizuka is such like a fashion icon too. She always looks immaculate. So I think that's that. Yeah. That interest led her through her career and after.
And those are the
So.
only 2 programs that have ever been skated to Turandot. Thanks,
Yeah.
everyone.
Well, now I'm going to get to
Shizuka
some others.
Arakawa is my Roman Empire. I think about it once a week. I think about it
Yeah.
almost every day.
Yeah. So I'm going to get to the list of other people who have skated to Turandot now, and I'm going to talk about 5 of Sarah's favorite skaters.
Oh, boy.
5. 2 of
This
whom,
is how much I love this music. They
Wow.
suck me right in when they do it.
Yeah.
2
Oh
of
my
whom are her
gosh.
biological sons,
True.
and one of whom is her alter ego.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Sarah Hughes, Olympic champion, had a Turandot free skate in 2000, the 99-2000 season, when she was 14. And this is big music for a 14-year-old. Program was choreographed by Robin Wagner. She was in a full coverage blue dress, like turtleneck all the way up, no opening in the back, sleeves all the way down to like halfway down her thumbs. You couldn't see an inch of skin on this girl's body. Appropriate for a
Modest.
14-year-old. Yeah.
And it was
like
beautiful.
it was like a blue like lace, but like really thick lace. And then it
Yes.
had these like circles of like jewels on it. She won her first senior medal at nationals in this dress, in this program, where she was 3rd. And then she went to worlds and finished 5th. She attempted 2 triple triples in her free skate in this nationals. She'd never landed a triple triple in competition before. She landed her first ever at nationals in this program. It was a triple sow, triple loop. Both jumps were quite under rotated. But they credited it. And then she tried triple toe, triple loop, and singled the loop. But those were her two combinations she would end up doing 2 years later in Salt Lake City. And she debuted her new Lutz this season. So basically after the Grand Prix, I think she was in France, she got a lot of criticism for having like a flutz and a really high kick. So they reworked it and she came to nationals with a new Lutz. It still had a bit of a kick and it still had a bit of an inside edge takeoff, but it was less pronounced.
I mean, it was just that she did this mohawk cross before it instead of like waiting.
Yeah.
Nice try.
Peggy Fleming said, she looks very calm, very much in control. And I feel like this is very Sarah. She was so composed and she just was so like, she could just go out there and just be calm and skate her program like intelligently and calmly. And it was interesting. She didn't seem phased by the pressure or the moment. Yeah, that was just, it was shades of what was to come.
Yeah. She never read her age. You would never see that girl and be like, she's 16, she's 14.
Yeah.
There was always.
I was just looking up even pictures of her and was like, not that she doesn't look like a 14-year-old, but I did not realize she was that young. Because even in the picture, the position that
presence.
she was in,
Yeah. She always moved her arms really nicely in like a willowy kind of way that seemed like something you learned over time. It just came really naturally to her, just so willowy. And she was taller too. She wasn't teeny, because I feel like with Tara Lipinski, there was all this dialogue about her age. And I think the fact that she was so petite really contributed to that dialogue. And Sarah being taller, it helped her avoid that kind of criticism. I mean, Sarah went to Worlds the first time when she was 13.
Right.
Crazy.
And okay. Next one I don't want to talk about is at the 2002 Olympics. Michael Weiss did a Puccini medley free skate. He skated to a piece called he skated to a piece from La Boheme, and then he skated to a piece called La Tregenda, which is translates to the specter or witch's Sabbath from an opera called Le Villi. And then he ended with Nessun Dorma from Turandot. And this program at the Olympics that he skated it was choreographed by his wife, Lisa Thornton Weiss. He had this purple velvet shirt on with these black kind of droopy sleeves and like a black collar. It was a very like Interview with the Vampire looking shirt. And NBC announces as he takes the ice, this is his final Olympics. This is his final season. He is leaving skating to retire and become a full-time dad. He would in fact do another Olympic cycle. But he did
Gets
have
you every time. They get you every time.
He did have 2 little kids at this point, and they were a big part of his story. And
just not a full-time part.
More
They were a part-time part.
He opened this program with a big quad toe, triple toe, double loop, and then a nice like triple axel steps, triple toe. This is a really solid performance from him. His only mistake was like a step out on the triple flip. And then he did his like choreo sequence over the Nessun Dorma part. And I wouldn't say this is the most, the music kind of unfortunately highlighted like his lack of artistry, like kind of weakness doing that side of skating. While his jumps were very strong, the movements were a little stiff in the step sequence. But as this beautiful music is playing and he's doing these steps in this choreography, Scott Hamilton is just soliloquizing his career. He's the best skate dad and the best skater and the best dad that skates and blah, 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 blah.
I hate that so much. I hate that.
It was a lot. But Michael Weiss finished 8th in the short, 7th in the free skate, and 7th overall. And he was the lowest placed of 3 U.S. men at these Olympics. They were all in the top 10, all in the top 7. Do you remember who they were and where they finished, Adam?
Okay. What was this? Salt Lake?
Yeah.
Okay. In Salt Lake City, you had Timothy Gable, who was 3rd. And then you had Todd Eldridge, who was 5th.
6th.
Damn it.
Eldridge was Michael Weiss's idol, and he never beat him in competition. Todd Eldridge had a long career. Yeah. Okay. A couple years later, I'm going to talk about Kimi Meisner, the 2006 world champion. So Kimmy, after her season where she won worlds, she had the 06-07 season where she was still a really strong skater. She won the US title. She finished 4th at worlds. And then the next season, 07-08, things started becoming difficult for her. And she got that season a free skate choreographed for her by David Wilson to the music from the film Ever After. And it just wasn't working. So she went to Lori Nickel.
That movie.
Yeah. She went to Lori Nickel and was like, I need something else. So Lori Nickel suggested Turandot. And she gave Kimmy this beautiful program to Turandot. And Kimmy was very excited about it because she had seen Luciano Pavarotti perform Nessun Dorma at the closing ceremonies. His closing ceremony in Torino.
Closing ceremony.
Ceremony. Yeah.
Melanie.
Melanie. I loved when Megan Thee Stallion did it.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Love Island.
I like
again,
everything
everyone.
about Megan Thee Stallion's presence in that episode.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I like that she comes on every season.
Yeah,
you know?
and sells her bathing suits. It's
Her,
genius.
her reality TV fandom is admirable. She was in Milan and she came to shoot a piece with Tara and Johnny in the booth. And I'm just like, oh my God. You know, it's like she's huge and gorgeous. She's so tall and she's so beautiful. And she had a man with her who was this incredibly
you're talking
beautiful.
about Meg the Stallion.
Yeah, for one
Meg
So
the
you were
Stallion.
talking about
like
Kimmy Meisner.
No, I'm
Me
talking
too.
about Megan Thee Stallion.
I knew where you
Yeah.
where you were.
Sarah and I are like, she's not that big. Kimmy
I was
Meisner's like 5'2".
she's not- she
No,
can't be
Megan
that
Thee Stallion
tall.
is like taller than Terry when she's in her
Yeah.
platform heels. She's so
I
tall.
was thinking about that, watching her like walk into the dressing room with the girls, and
Mhm.
she
Yeah.
looked
Yeah.
ginormously tall.
Yes.
But in Milan, she had this absolutely ripped, beautiful black man with her. He had a tank top on, just all muscles, and his job was just her hair. And he had a comb, and he kept going in and fixing her hair. And she'd step back and he'd fix it. And I was like, the dream. This is incredible. This is what she deserves. Yeah.
Mhm.
But not Kimmy. Kimmy was a
But not
tiny
Kimmy.
little wisp of a girl who had lovely, very light skating. Was not talking about Kimmy. Okay. So Kimmy had this Nessun Dorma program, and she started strong in the Grand Prix. She won Skate America. She finished second at Trophy Eric Bompard. She qualified for the Grand Prix final. She got to the final, and practices there were a little rough. And there was just something about her that was a little different. Peter Carruthers, I found an article where Peter Carruthers gave a quote to Phil Hirsch, and he said, let me find it. She seems to be second guessing herself, and she lacks full conviction. So she struggled at the final, and she finished 6th, which is last there. And this season, she had started getting an edge call on her flip, and she was getting under rotation calls on her combination jumps. And I think Kimmy was also growing because she was very, very tiny and skinny, I think, through much of her earlier career. And then as she started to grow, her jump technique, I think, was just not really keeping up with it. It was, it needed some work. So then Kimmy went to nationals, and she was the defending champion, and she had a meltdown at nationals. Really, really rough. I think she had 3 falls in her free skate, and she finished 7th overall. One journalist called it the worst performance by a reigning women's champion in the past 50 years, which is unnecessary.
It's
but
Christine
that was-
Brennan.
No, it was some other lady, and I didn't recognize her name, but I found this in an article. Kimmy has a very flushed out Wikipedia page for, I was surprised. I was like, someone spent a lot of time on this. Lots of like ESPN article quotes and stuff in there. Yeah, but despite finishing 7th, Kimmy was named to the world team because 3 of the women ahead of her, Caroline Zhang, Mirai Nagasu, and Rachel Flatt, were all too young to go to worlds. As well as the girl that finished right up of her in 6th was Katrina Hacker, and she had very little international experience. So on this world team were Ashley, Bibi Liang, and Kimmy.
Such a random world.
It's a random assortment of
the most
women.
random worlds team in 50 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, when you think like our set, like if you think of placement wise, what was it? 3, 5, 7.
Yeah.
Have fun in Gothenburg.
I did
Göteborg. Yeah. I mean, Ashley, I remember when you did your free skate, one of the research I was working with that season told me that's the worst Ashley has ever skated. And I was
And
like,
to this
yeah,
day,
it was crazy
it
because
still is.
you were
It was an
so
out of
consistent.
body experience.
Yeah.
I don't remember that performance. I left my body.
Yeah.
She remembers all the other ones so clearly.
Yeah.
No,
So this is shocking.
I just remember my parents being pissed at me. I was in so much trouble for how bad
Aw.
I was. No, it was that bad.
That was pressure. Okay. So after nationals, Kimmy made a big coaching change, and she left her longtime coach Pam Gregory in February 2008. She'd been with Pam since like she started skating all of her career, and she moved to Florida to work with Richard Callahan. And she described the problems she was having at the time as mental and cited that she was growing apart from Coach Pam and that she had been growing apart from her for over a year and that they had some kind of issue that she wouldn't describe, but she was like, I needed to leave. So she chose Richard Callahan, which was an interesting choice. He was already in some shit at this point, deservedly, but it was an interesting choice. And she moved away from home too, because she was still living in her parents' house in Delaware. So she came to Sweden for Worlds looking a little better. She was 9th in the short program. And then in the free skate, she skated this Turandot program. And the first half of this program was really nice. Like you could see that she really felt the music. She was really listening to it. She had some of her like trademark movements, her arms and her spirals. And then as the program went on, she started making mistakes on her jumps. She fell on an under-rotated triple Lutz. She fell in a triple sow. But like you can feel in the second half when like the Ness and Dorma music is playing, you can feel her feeling it and it kind of carrying her and like pushing her through it. I hadn't watched Kimmy skate in a long time. And I was really impressed with, I don't know, how she pushed through this performance. She was a fighter, you know, and her jumps were leaving her, but she was still really pushing for it. Yeah, she finished 12th in the free skate here. But due to some insane movement in the standings, she finished 7th overall, 9th in the short, 12th in the free, 7th overall. Kimmy was 7th, BB was 10th, and Ashley was 16th. And
Ashley, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It was the worst performance of my life.
I'm pretty sure Tara was 16th at her first Worlds. Was it?
Well, I didn't end up as Olympic champion, so I don't know.
I think
if there's
even
any-
lower. Maybe
She then won the next year.
Yes.
No, I think she was 6. Hang on.
Remember that in the lore. That's
She was
crazy.
23rd in the short program.
Yeah. 15th. She was 15th. So she went 15th to first. So I remember when Papadakis and Cicerone went like 13th to first.
Mhm.
I was like, no, it's not the record. Tara
Yeah.
has the record.
Mhm. And Tara skated to speed for the
Oh my
free
God.
skate. It was
Yes.
amazing.
Ashley, if you had won Worlds in 2009, you would have beaten Tara's record, broken her record.
That's why it was so bad. I knew that was what was at stake.
Yeah. I don't think they even put you on the 2009 team, right? It was Alyssa and Rachel.
Yeah, I wasn't on that team.
Yeah. Okay. So the U.S. lost a spot. They had 2 spots in 2009, and they sent Rachel and Alyssa. They were not able to secure 3 spots. So then we only had 2 spots in Vancouver. And Ashley got splinched again. Kimmy kept working with Richard Callahan the next season, as well as Todd Eldridge, who was Callahan's longtime student. And her season was rough. And she said that working with Callahan did not work. And his approach robbed her of the joy that had always fueled her best performances. So, and that was pretty much the end of her career. But the last time we saw her compete at a major international event, she was skating to Turandot. Kimmy's decline always made me really sad because she was such a spirited skater. And I think her jump technique just really let her down and, wasn't able to grow with her. But anyway, okay. I'm going to take you to 2013 U.S. Championships. And a skater named Adam Rapon is skating to Ness and Dorma in the short program in a program choreographed by Raphael Arutunian. And I'm going to let you guess what he's wearing for this program. What color shirt he's wearing?
Blue.
Sarah and Ashley. Nope.
White.
No.
Gray.
Red.
No.
Black.
Brown.
Green.
No.
No.
We've run out of colors.
Gold.
Large,
Silver.
billowy, nope, millennial pink. With
And
a purple collar and then a
Mhm.
purple accents on the sleeves.
I remember this now.
I didn't
didn't
think I'd
have
found the right
any
video.
money. So
I thought
this
you were
was
making a
like
statement.
the statement was that I had bills to pay and that I let somebody
Aw.
like design it, but it was like it was kind of like all I could get.
Oh, Adam. I was watching it and I was thinking like this is like the way
I mean, that's like cotton candy pink. It's not
I
even like
remember it
millennial
being
pink.
softer. than
Millennial
it
pink
was
is
very
a softer
hard.
pink. That is
Yeah.
a hard pink.
And it was made of
Mhm.
the cheapest material one
Aw.
could stretch in every direction.
You
So there
couldn't
was-
get caught on fire if you tried.
No, it was flame retardant for sure. Certainly.
Do you still have it?
Knowing
I think
the
I've
story,
absolutely thrown it away.
knowing the
Aw.
story of the opera now makes you in a bright pink and purple costume so funny.
Yeah.
And
Like no
insane.
concept. Like me and Raphael over there in Lake Arrowhead, both zero concept of the opera. And we're like, what can they get? What can they make quick?
Well,
Said,
I thought it was
"You
an
have this
artistic
leftover
statement.
fabric."
Did you? What did
I
you
did,
think the
and I was
statement
thinking
was?
about- So I feel like the music of Nessun Dorma is so transcendental and beautiful. I was thinking about like the sunset and the color of the clouds and the sunset when it gets so pink.
I
at, like,
think that
twilight.
was the idea.
Adam's like, let's go with that.
I think that was the idea, but I remember thinking like I needed something that was like bright and that the costume designer had in stock because I didn't want to pay for any of the crystals. So I wanted something that was really bright that would almost kind of be like, oh, it's bright.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
that's what
It's
I got.
actually so hard to find pictures of this costume. It like doesn't exist on the internet.
Because
Yeah.
also I don't think anyone cared.
Adam had his team delete them all.
Yeah. I had them scrub the same people who went thoroughly through Kimmy Meisner's Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
I had them go through the internet and
Yeah.
comb these out.
Yeah. So Adam opened with a really nice triple axel.
Mm.
Then he did triple flip, triple toe, and fell on the triple toe.
I
then-
did?
Yes. And then you did a gorgeous triple Lutz ripon.
Okay.
And this layback spin you did at the end, this like layback upright spin with like you like pulled in while you were in the layback. Beautiful. So you got off the ice and Raph just looked at you and like shook his head and then walked away. And then Vera came over to hug you.
Mm.
So you finished 5th at this event.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Top
it was
5.
It was a nice skate. Yeah, top 5. So I want to get to another one of Sarah's favorite skaters. We've gotten to 2 so far. Number 3 is Elena Radionova.
Oh my
She
God.
skated to this?
I really
Yes.
didn't know where you were going with this.
She
Me
had
either.
a Turandot free skate in the 2016-2017 season. And like most Russian women, this was like the last we saw of her. I mean, she did keep competing after this, but this was like the beginning of the end. So she made it to the Grand Prix final, but she finished 5th at Russian Nationals and wasn't assigned to Europeans or Worlds. For this program, she was also wearing pink. She had a pretty pink dress, and this was choreographed by Nadia Kanaeva. I don't know if she came to LA to work with her. It may have been done on Zoom, but yeah, I thought this program was nice. It had lots of little musical nuances. Radionova like really loved a war horse. She was always
She
True.
did.
all about it.
True.
Yeah.
I
and
think
she-
Nadia would spend a few weeks in Russia every summer, or used to, and so she would do a few programs for a few like Russian juniors. And
Yeah.
I remember Radionova was one of the skaters she worked with.
Of
She was
course,
on
probably when she
Raphael's
got it.
team. Yeah,
Yeah.
Nadia.
In her Grand Prix final free skate, she finished 6th at this event, but she was like fighting. She fell really hard on her opening triple Lutz, and then she did triple Lutz, triple toe in the bonus. So I was like, damn. Yeah, Ratty.
loved her.
R.I.P. Loved her too. Okay, let's get to the Olympic season. Wen Jingsui and Song Han of China.
Mm.
They are coming in to win the Olympics. And
Mhm.
they have a free skate choreographed by Laurie Nickel to Turandot. And they won the short program handily. They came in with a 0.71 lead over Tarasova and Morozov, the Russians, who were in second place, and they had a 5.8 point lead over Alyona Savchenko and Bruno Massot, who were in fourth after he doubled his triple Salchow. And so Savchenko and Massot skated first in this group in Korea, and they skated one of the most unbelievable free skates of all time. This is also on the list. They set a world record score. It was unbelievable. Sarah had her nails painted light, like lilac, purple, and white for months, years after this, inspired by this performance. Okay.
Years.
For years.
Extreme.
I mean,
I will say that specific shade of purple, like I can't see it without thinking about them.
Yeah. And they were first in the last group. So Sui and Han, I think they were skating second to last. They come out to skate, and right off the bat, they both make mistakes on their side-by-side jumping passes. First pass, Sung Han does triple toe, single toe, double toe. Wenjing Sui does it. And then the next pass, they do side-by-side triple Salchows. Wenjing steps out of hers and puts a hand down. The rest of the program, stunning. Glorious throw triple flip, this just huge, powerful landing position. And then right after it, throw triple sow, so solid. And as she's landing the throw triple sow, she throws her arms up to the sky. It was great. And they had this really big separation where they like skated opposite each other, setting up their last end of the program, going into their last lifts. Gorgeous ending with this carry lift. So passionate. This team really, really, they were great performers, but they had those mistakes at the start.
Yeah.
And those solo jumps made the difference for them. They finished third in the free skate, second overall, and they lost the gold by 0.43 points. Less than half a point. They needed 0.44 points to win. And Wenjing said, the difference is just so close, and I felt so regretful. If the difference is larger, I might not feel that regretful as now. And she cried throughout this CCTV interview. So the difference between a single toe and a double toe was 0.9 base points. So if Sung Han had done a double toe, they would have done it. And then they also lost 1.1 points on the triple sow. So if she had done her triple sow, they would have it. Crazy. So Wenjing was competing at these Olympics with a stress fracture in her right foot. She was in a lot of pain during practices. This is a familiar refrain with the Chinese pair teams. A lot of pain.
Especially this team.
Yeah. She suffered from acute periostitis in her leg before coming to Korea, which is a sudden inflation of the connective tissue surrounding the bones, and it involves severe pain. And this ended up all being tied to her stress fracture in her foot. But an MRI before the Olympics didn't identify a fracture, so she went ahead and competed. I don't know if it truly didn't identify one, or they were like, let's tell her in March.
Yeah, let's just not.
After the games, she was diagnosed with a stress fracture. And she said it was most painful when she woke up and tried to train in the morning. And she called the pain a 7 to 8 out of 10. So in Korea, the events were held in the morning so they could be live in the US. And she didn't reveal like the full extent of how much pain she was in until after this event. And because there was no early morning practice before the event, they just came, warmed up, and did their program. She decided not to get a numbing injection. So she wouldn't have time to get used to a numb leg. And she said, before I got on the rink, I just tried to readjust my emotions, and I clenched my teeth and got myself through the pain.
Awful.
Yeah. Chinese TV, CCTV, did a feature with Sung Han's parents who secretly traveled to Korea for this Olympics. And he didn't know they were there. And they made dumplings in their hotel room to celebrate the Chinese New Year. So dumplings are, I guess, like they celebrate reunion. So they had footage of them in their hotel room making dumplings. Like they had the meat and the pastry, and they were,
that's sweet.
And they chopping onions and assembling them. And his mother gave the CCTV people a bowl with the cooked dumplings in it. And during their mix zone interview after their free skate, they gave him this bowl of dumplings, said it was from his parents. And he said that when the team left the ice, Shu Shen, who is one of their coaches now, asked him, did your parents come to the arena? And he said, no, they're in Harbin. And she said, no, I think they're right there. And she pointed to the crowd, and he looked up and he saw them, and it made him very emotional.
That's really
Oh.
nice.
Yeah. And they said in this interview, they were like, we will come back and we will win the next Olympics in Beijing. And they did. I think they would have preferred to be going for their second Olympic title in Beijing, but they were not. So, yeah. There was another Turandot free skate performed in Pyeongchang, and it was by Shoma Uno, one of Sarah's all-time favorite skaters
Shoma.
and mine. This program, I hadn't watched this in a while.
And
God, was it
mine,
good.
somebody who could sell like, he could sell anything to anyone.
Snake oil to a snake.
Yes. God, one of my favorite performers.
Yeah.
And
So
this music really agreed with him.
Yes.
I mean, he used it more than once, and it just like really worked.
Yeah. So this program was choreographed by his coach, Mihoko Higuchi. And she's the one that looks 27 years old and is not.
And is not like almost 60. Yeah.
I always thought she's got to be older than that now. I always thought she was like an older sister to him at the rink. Like it was like, like Kimi Rapon, coached by her older sister. I didn't think they were actually related, but I thought she was just like in her 20s, No, she's just ageless. Okay. So he had
ageless.
Yeah. He had this beautiful blue top with a gold V on the chest and the back. And he had the musical version he had, because at this point lyrics are allowed, and he has this choral version with this like large like group. I don't know if this is just a piece from the opera or if this is like a different recording, but there's so many voices singing together in the music he uses, and it's so good.
It's amazing.
So he opened with a quad loop, which he fell on. It was reviewed and he did get full credit for it. I don't know that was the right call, but he did get full credit for it. Quad flip, and he was the first skater to ever land a quad flip in international competition. Triple loop, just gorgeous music at this gorgeous movement. At this point, I wrote, I miss him. Triple axel, and then in the bonus, he did quad toe, double toe, solo quad toe, triple axel, triple flip, and triple sow, triple toe. Back when you could do more than 3 passes. He did this glorious cantilever into his last spin, and he won the silver medal.
Yeah,
and
he did.
He complained throughout the season that he was really struggling with stamina getting through the program, but he found it for this. I think some of the second half jumps were a little bit wobbly, but he was fighting for them. And yeah,
that's our guy.
Yep. And he won the silver medal instead of the bronze medal because his quad loop was given full rotation. So if it had been reviewed down, he would have been third, and Javier Fernandez would have been second. Yeah.
Interesting.
So luck was on his side that day. Yeah. Sarah was calling the event as well as working in the research booth.
I was in charge.
Yeah.
Of the results.
They said, where's the woman with the lilac nails that she's had for years?
She didn't have them quite yet, but she was going to get them in 2 weeks.
Yeah, got them after the Olympics.
She got
Where's the
home.
woman who will have the lilac nails for years?
Yeah. Okay. So the next one I want to talk about is one of my personal favorites. And it is another Olympic free skate, and it is Junwon Cha at the 2022 Olympics. And his program was choreographed by Shaylin Bourne. And it was all these
talk
pieces
about
from
Anita
Turandot.
Bauer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it included a version of Nessun Dorma performed by a singer named Jose Carreras. And this was like a different version. And he used a lot, like it was like a whole full 2 minutes of the program was this guy singing Nessun Dorma. And it was great. It was just this kind of like different emotional texture with his vocals that Junwon just really skated up to. So he opened this program with a horrible fall on an under-rotated quad toe. I mean, it was like bad. It wasn't Jeremy Abbott bad, but it was really hard. He got up and the rest of the program was immaculate. He did a really nice quad sow, triple lutz, triple loop, triple axel, double toe, triple axel, and then triple lutz, half loop, triple sow.
It was a really good program.
This glorious buildup of music and vocals as he finishes his jumps. His last one's a triple flip. And then we get to the choreo sequence. Oh, this is heaven. So it's like he uses there's like this chorus of voices in the music, and he like guides it into the beginning of his choreo sequence, and then he does it straight down the ice, and then he comes out and he goes into this glorious Ina Bauer, and he does almost a full circle in this Ina Bauer. So long he has his head thrown back, and then he turns to the side and like looks off into the distance.
It's amazing.
It's beautiful. Yeah, and 4 judges gave him +4 instead of +5 on this. And I take that
Idiot.
very personally.
I mean, it's
What are they on?
ridiculous.
That is nonsense. They're from the Czech Republic or Czechia, Israel, Estonia, and Italy. This Italian judge, this I feel is the most egregious thing because this
I
is
agree.
like Italian music.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's egregious.
What else could you want?
Yeah. There's nothing
Idiot.
to want. It's heaven. The Juna
It is
Bauer.
heaven.
Yeah.
It's because he does it like in his own way. It's
Yeah.
just as impressive as Shizuka doing it.
Yeah.
But then when he turns his head,
Yeah.
it's like, this is my own.
Yeah.
And it's like it goes from being like +4 is like he does it just as well as Shizuka. The
Yeah.
turn of the head is to me, it's like, okay, I'm sorry, +5.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
you need to be stripped of your credentials.
I agree. And they should be.
You should be executed as
As the Prince of Persia was at
Yes.
the beginning of the opera.
The Israeli judge had actually been cited for national bias in judging before. So,
well,
anyway,
Crazy.
he finished 7th in the free skate here and 5th overall, which
Mhm.
is just a dagger in the heart because he's going to be 4th in Milan
yep.
after he's brutally robbed in the short program.
True.
Brutally robbed.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. And that takes us to the next Olympic cycle and Yumando.
yeah.
Mm.
I'm not going to talk too much about this because you guys did a lot of Yuma
Yeah,
Kageyama
of
Turandot
course.
coverage on your podcast, but I pulled his 2026 Worlds Free Skate because this program was so interesting because it's like the choreography almost precedes him. The program was so well put together by Lori Nickel. It was so beautiful. It suited his skating so well, but he just had consistency issues throughout the season and never was able to really get it out clean until Worlds. So Lori Nickel used Christopher
Other than
Tins.
the time he did make me cry during a summer exhibition.
Yeah.
skate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In like an
Yeah.
old costume at a
Yeah.
Yeah.
local rink. Like
Yeah. Shot on
Yeah.
an iPhone.
Yeah.
Love that video.
CCTV footage. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy.
You're
You're right, though. The choreography is like, I feel like the story of that program. I mean, obviously, like you need a very, very talented skater to do justice to the choreography. But the
Yeah, I mean-
choreography felt so unique and just such a perfect marriage of choreography and orchestration.
Mhm.
Like the actual like arrangement of it along with the
Mhm.
choreography was just
It felt
Ugh.
Olympic.
yeah.
It did.
And so Lori Nickel used Christopher Tin's completion of the opera, and Christopher Tin actually personally arranged the music for Yuma. And he was, so honored to participate in this process, which you just love to see. It's so cool.
I know.
This was absolutely the most beautiful program of the year. It was of the quad of the century. It was glorious.
Of the
Lori Nickel
century.
of
Adam
the
sitting there like
millennium.
Shizuka was this century.
Yeah. The choreography, I mean Shizuka's program was beautifully choreographed, but I think what she brought to it was like her performance and her energy and her Ina Bauer. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel
I mean,
like
this is-
Yuma's program on paper is just like out of this world.
And the rules had settled because it was like,
Yeah.
I mean, in Shizuka's era, she had to do what? A full spiral sequence, a step sequence, 4 spins, and 8 or 7 jumps. Like
Yeah.
that's what she was doing. And her
Yeah.
like, and
She's
so
busy.
it's charisma that gets you through.
Yeah.
There's not even time for choreography.
Yeah.
But by the time you get to Yuma, the rules have like refined themselves to a point where at least like,
Mhm.
I have a lot to say about the judging system, but it does at least lean itself into somebody trying to do something with
Mhm.
choreography in it.
Yeah. It was something about the timing of it. It was so well made, but I felt like he could never quite hit it exactly right.
Yeah.
And Yuma skating this free skate in the Milan Olympics was just, it was mistake riddled and tragic. I remember I tried to
Painful.
take a video
So
on my
painful.
phone before his Ina Bauer, and he tripped just on his toe pit. It's crazy. I feel like that's
Yeah.
one we're going to go back to and just be like, I cannot believe this happened.
Right.
Because it was really his to take, and he didn't take it.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't know it was his to take until
Yeah,
the
true.
very end.
But like, isn't
Yeah.
that how it goes all the time? Like,
Yeah.
you know, we've talked about Shizuka didn't skate last.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
you know, you
And-
don't get to skate last every time. You have
Yeah.
to always skate like it's yours to take because you
Right.
don't
Yeah.
know.
And Yuma made an interesting decision here in that he went for all of his content. He went for
Yeah.
quad flip. And I think that if he had done an approach similar to Shizuka and said, I'm just going to get a medal, I'm going to pull it back and be clean,
Yes.
he probably would have done better.
I mean, what he did at Worlds.
Yeah, easy.
Oh, the world's performance.
Mhm. Mhm.
Hindsight is always 2020.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. Beautiful, beautiful
So-
music.
Now I want to see a Turandot program interpreting the story. And I want to see some violence and some riddles.
Yeah. I want to see some.
wanna
I
see
want
a
to see a
beheading.
Riddler. I want to see question marks on costumes.
Yeah. There we
And I
go.
want to see villagers nervous they're going to be dead in the morning.
I mean, you've heard that many
You've
times.
heard it. Now I want to
Yeah.
see it.
This would be a good group number to just
Yeah.
do on ice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Synchro 9. I can do
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
Or theater on ice.
Yeah.
Theater
You should
on
call
ice.
Karine Aribert and she can choreograph it.
Yeah. We should call BB Lang. She's like the director of LA Ice Theater, or like
Really?
LA Ice Theater.
Oh
Yes.
my God, that's cool. Good for her.
Yeah. Yeah, we should call her.
BB was fun to always see her at nationals because she was always decked out in BB gear, and she didn't have to like order it or anything. You just go to the BB store, and their stuff says BB on it,
Yeah.
and she
It's
would just be
perfect.
Of course.
wearing it all. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
as always, Michelle, it's been a pleasure.
It has. And Sarah, it was an honor and a privilege and a pleasure
Yeah.
to
I'm
hear
sorry
the
I gotta-
story of "We will die, we will die."
I mean, truly, that is I'm just still I can't believe it. I
Mhm.
can't
No.
believe that's what that song is.
Mhm.
But
it's
I
amazing.
I saw Turandot, the opera performed in Central Park. They do those operas in the park in New
Mhm.
York, and
yeah.
I truly had no idea what was going on. I was just listening to the music, and I remember the
Yeah.
performance of Nessun Dorma was beautiful, but
It's a stunning, stunning song. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just never needed to know what it was
No.
about
It
because
just
it's
don't
so
overthink it.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just
Mhm.
gonna enjoy what it sounds like and enjoy Shoma Uno in a velvet
Mhm.
costume of green or blue.
Mhm.
Yeah. We
Shama.
will die, we will die, we will die.
And in the morning I will
We'll
win.
die.
I will win. I will win.
It's-
Mhm.
Yeah, it's sinister.
Yeah.
and which makes me love it more.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Well,
On that
Yeah.
note,
thank you everyone for listening to another episode of Lore Horses. Lore
Mhm.
Horse? I don't know. Whatever. Whatever we're saying. Thank you. And
good
good night.
We will die. We will die. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.